All right, everybody. Today is Wednesday, August 6th. Time for a beautiful update here from Buoy 10. It is wet. It is windy. We're all soaked. But it's a beautiful day. Why else wouldn't you want to be out here salmon fishing? Well, I'd rather be taking a hot shower, which I'm going to do here in a little bit. Today was something else. We usually get about 2 or 3 of these days a season, and we got this one here pretty early this year. So, what happened? We didn't start until a little bit later on in the day, and that was because of the tide. The tide was running out really hard. Figured we'd start a little bit later, wait for the tide to settle down since it's a minus tide and a pretty hard outgo. We came out, I felt like we fished pretty good considering the wind. It was blowing us across the river really fast, and we started down by buoy 20 to buoy 14. And there was actually a pretty decent little bite considering that you couldn't control your boat hardly at all. And probably saw 4 or 5 fish get caught, and I know of about 5 or 6 others, which doesn't sound like a lot for Buoy 10, but considering the weather and how many boats were out there, which weren't very many, it wasn't bad. We had a couple goes there and got one small king, and then the wind picked up, started getting really nasty really quick, and so we came upriver up into Hammond and fished that area up in there, and that was okay. At least we were protected from the wind somewhat. We got one really nice hatchery king, which, gosh, I wish it was tomorrow when we caught that fish, because as a reminder, today was the last day to keep wild Chinook. From here on until the 25th, 26th, it is hatchery only for Chinook and coho inside the river here. So make sure you remember that. Got to release all wild kings and wild coho from here on until the 25th, when we're going to be allowed to keep hatchery or wild kings again later on in the month. What worked today? Spinners worked. The one really nice king we got was just sewn up on that noose rig, those hooks. I think I got it right here. Let me show it to you real quick. Actually, I'll do it in just a second because I want to talk about a little tech tip too. So we got that fish on spinners. The one earlier was on spinners as well. I was running a spin fish, and I think the spin fish, in my personal opinion, probably run better behind triangles as opposed to 360s. The spin fish love to run fast. The faster you go, the better they work. And I think that skip beat action or that approach roll doing the 360s is affecting the speed on how those spin fish work. Not to say that it doesn't work, because I catch plenty behind the approach rolls with spin fish, but I think that the spin fish just work better behind a triangle. My personal opinion, I need to keep on fishing it to see if there's a better way to get them to work. Maybe I just need to shorten that leader up a little bit behind the approach roll. So after that, we came up here to the bridge, fished it near the high slack, which is typically really good. The red tide was obscene, and the grass, man, I'll tell you, I'll show you my boat here. I feel like I'm fishing Tillamook Bay. This was wild how much grass was out here, and that was probably because of this wind coming out of the southwest, blowing all that grass, that I don't know what kind of grass is, just long skinny grass out of Young's Bay. So it was brutal. You could hardly fish. Every 5 minutes you had to clear your gear. But we caught fish. Can't complain. Had a few other opportunities. Fish were kind of acting weird. You know, I've noticed on days like today, if I can get a group of 1 or 2 coming in, I can watch them on my active target, want to engage and turn to look at the flashers. When I get in those bigger groups of 4, 5, 6 or more fish, it's like you drop a grenade on them. Because they come in, they see your flasher, and they just explode. They just go every which direction and try and avoid your gear. It's really interesting how those larger groups will just run away from you, whereas the smaller groups, the singles and doubles, will come in and try and join the school, so to speak. When the weather's not like this, those bigger groups, they don't necessarily swim away, but they tend to ignore your gear a little bit. You got to really keep your gear on them for a longer period of time to get them to react. Whereas the singles and doubles, man, they'll come right in and try and join the group and come in and party, come in and play. But let me show you that noose rig on the hook setup that I got up there. Again, it's I run 2/0 or 3/0 on the size 3.5 spinners, sometimes a little bit bigger 3.5 spinners too. But let's look at the grass, and then I'm going to show you how to avoid the grass. I've talked about this a couple times, but it's a quick little tech tip that some old timers show me. So let's do it here. Look at all this grass. Grass everywhere. I was even trying hard to keep it out of the boat. Just grass everywhere. All right, so noose rig. Here it is right here. Let me get that hoochie out of the way. Oh man, it's all foggy. Sorry guys. There's that noose rig right there. It worked out great today. It really sewed up that king. He wasn't going anywhere. That was great. I like little tinsel. Boy, that almost looks chartreuse to the camera. It's actually silver. It's interesting. Interesting. Maybe that's why you liked it. Little red and chartreuse. There's that guy trying the pro troll. And then this is my trick to avoid grass. So back when I was a kid, I had a guy show me on anchor when we used to anchor fish a lot. You just throw a little rubber band onto your line. Just wrap it through itself here. So just, I don't know if you can see that. You just pull the loop through itself and then tighten it down onto your braid, onto your main line. And what happens is that all this grass that we're seeing out here is surface grass for the most part. So that surface grass comes and it gets caught on your line, slides down, stops right here on this rubber band before it slides down to your terminal tackle, your flasher, your lead, and everything else. So this rubber band is not the end all be all, but it buys you time. Quick little tech tip. So I always keep a ball of rubber bands back here. There we go. Always keep a ball of rubber bands in the boat for times like this when the grass is just brutal. So there you go. Grass, wind, rain, not very many fish. Boats that did well today got 2 or 3. We ended up with a couple kings, one really nice one. We'll take it on a day like today. But now it's time to go shower. I'm wet, I'm cold, I'm over it. I hate days like today. We get, like I said, a couple of these a year. It's just tough fishing. The boat is sideways the whole day. Everyone's wet and cold. You just kind of power through. And fortunately, we were able to find a couple nice fish. So, time to go clean up the boat, get all this freaking grass out of here, and just hope it doesn't end up in my bilge and screw it up, get all clogged up in there. Find a way to get all this grass out of here, re-rig everything. Boy, I'll tell you, those, I don't know if you guys, let me know if you guys are having this problem too, but look at this. One day, I don't know if you can really see it, but one day in the river, and it's just these gold ones. You know, you can't really see it. Look at all that gold coming off. There you go, you can see it better that way. One day in the river, and that gold, silver's fine. Silver's just fine. I don't know what it is, but that gold, those gold pro trolls are just falling apart. That's kind of annoying one day out here. So I'm gonna change up some flashers, get some freshies on there. Tomorrow's supposed to be sunny. It's supposed to be really beautiful the rest of the week. Probably not gonna be able to fish the ocean tomorrow. Maybe, might be able to slide out there. Friday is looking a little bit better, but then it's supposed to fall apart again. So I think we got maybe 1 or 2 more days out in the salt, but the good weather and good tides are coming. But with this good weather, 70, 80 degrees coming up here this weekend here in Astoria, it is supposed to get windy, but not out of the south, out of the north. So instead of being stuck here on the Oregon side, we're gonna be stuck over there on the Washington side. All right, time to go tie her up, get dry, get warm, reset. See you guys tomorrow.